Well, we're back at it. 2016 SRX project. She back together. She back together. We got her. We are waiting on one final part. And then a couple of things I got to do underneath to the rear end. But yeah, we got her all back together, all cleaned up real nice. Everything installation reverse of disassembly. The one thing is, if you see, let's see if I can get the camera there. It might be a little difficult. There is a nipple right there. See that chrome nipple? And there's a hose that's supposed to attach to it. Well, there's one of those fancy little clip things that I broke off in the tube. And when I go over to the workbench, I'll show you what I'm talking about. But went ahead and changed the spark plugs. And brand new belt, everything. I don't wish putting that belt back on to my worst enemy. That is one of the most nightmarish scenarios I have ever done. So, if you've got a transverse mounted 3.6 engine in a Cadillac SRX or the new model, good luck putting that belt on. Pretty much the only way I could figure out to do it is keeping the side wheel well off, and of course you'd have to take off the wheel and everything. But and if you can't get it that way, well, you got to pull off the motor mount and the air box and move the power steering reservoir out of the way and probably drain the coolant and air conditioning. Nah, I'm exaggerating, but it's one of the worst ones I've ever had to put on. And I searched all over YouTube seeing if there's an easier way to do it, but your tensioner is pretty much right behind this bolt underneath the engine mount. And you can get it from the bottom, but good luck getting your hand anywhere in here. So like I said, this is one of the easiest engines to work on. Absolutely. Changing the spark plugs, changing the air filter, pulling the manifold off, cleaning the throttle body, cleaning the intake valves. You pull the manifold off, they're right there. You can wire brush them all you want, which I did, and sorry I didn't get that on video, but not much carbon on them at all. If you needed to change the high pressure fuel pump, it's right behind this foam pad. If you need to change the alternator, there's plenty of room. It's right here. I mean, oil changes. There's your oil filter. Here's your dipstick right in line with it. Need to change your O2 sensor. Oh my gosh. Spark plugs, like I said, here. A little bit difficult in the back just because there's not a whole lot of room. You need to clean your PCV. Here it is, right here. Tube. Change your coolant, your brakes, brake fluid, your battery. Now the battery is a little bit wonky because you've got your entire vehicle computer is right on top of the battery box there. Kind of funky, but yeah, absolutely a pleasure to work on. And obviously taking out the headlights is fun too. But let's come on back over here and we will talk about, here's what I broke. This little quick disconnect nipple thing. So basically that's supposed to sit there. That goes up in the tube. This clips onto the metal little nipple. And then it's got that little push thing. $11 for that son of a bitch. I guess I could have used a, just extend that piece of fuel line or something. But, you know, it's rubber going to metal, plastic going to metal. I guess maybe that's what they're trying to. Anyway, I went ahead and changed the spark plugs. Looks like it got a little hot. You know, these are old. I mean, there's a lot of crud on there. And of course, these are the Iridium plugs. There's your number there. What is it? 41109 AC Delco. That is the manufacturer recommended spark plug. So that's what I replaced in there. I did not replace the coils. They looked fairly decent. They're made by Denso. And of course, straight out of Detroit, all this stuff. It is nice to see American-made parts and equipment on this car. It's really, really neat. Oh, Let's jump, sorry for the walking around, but jump over here because this is one thing. So, Cloy's, 1921, right? American. Check this out. Come on, stay up there. Can y'all see that part number at all? General Motors. Okay, let's see here. How about this one? Does this one have the GM? There it is. Look at that. On that side, General Motors part number, and on this side, by my thumb, see right there, Cloy's. So GM, stock manufactured parts. Look at that. There you go, GM. And what's this part number here? Anyway, I wanted to show you that. Now, I didn't find any part numbers on the tensioners anywhere, or made in USA or anything like that. But these little things, these are just cast aluminum, very light. But they are, General Motors. This is the one I took off, and the other one's identical to this, goes right back on. I just thought that was funny. Now, as you know, you don't use the tensioner off the oil pump, or you just take the shoe off, because if you undo those critically torqued bolts on the side of the oil pump, then of course you're going to affect the oil pump longevity. But I just thought that was neat, taking off a GM part off a Cadillac and then seeing Cloy's stamped on it. And of course, some of the stuff's made in China. Yeah, okay. And like everything, but not everything. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and use a Wix. I got an awesome deal on this, $25 for five quarts on Amazon right now of Mobil 1 full synthetic Dexos, right? And then obviously we got a new coolant here. Bought that off of Amazon too. So all in told, man, I think that right there is $75. I got a screaming deal on that. That includes the oil filter. I think each one of these spark plugs was like $8.99, and then this, $11. So I'm waiting on that, and then I'm waiting on the replacement bolts for our drive shaft. And what I was just getting ready to do is I got our new bushing for our transmission frame mount on our new subframe. So I'm going to kind of sand that a little bit, put some lube on there, and then I'm going to set it up in there and tap it. Then I'm going to take a piece of plate steel over top of it and take my air chisel and just kind of buzz it in. Now, I guess I could run a bolt through there and a big washer and all that stuff, but why not just use that air chisel? That's cool. All right, so I've got the front off, skid plate, and of course, there's our old subframe, the old damaged one with the nice bins everywhere. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it just like this. We're going to wrap up putting up the bushings in the back on the subframe. We'll go ahead and install the exhaust system, which is always a party. And then I'll loosely attach those drive shaft bolts in there. And then we'll go ahead and leave it up on the jack stands. And we'll fire it up and we'll see how we did. And hopefully we don't have a big fire or hit a valve or anything. And then we'll go ahead and, once we get that little nipple thing, we'll put the coolant in. And then we are definitely going to be redoing this brake fluid. That's a little black, a little dark for me. I like to have the nice new. So we'll go ahead and purge that out. I got plenty of brake fluid up there. Get out all the calipers and all that. Since the brake pads and the calipers look brand new, why don't we just flush that all those brake lines out and everything like that. But here's another shot of the inside of that immaculate. I can still smell the perfume. Even after all that engine work we did, I can still smell that. Oh, man. And we'll get some polishing. We'll try to buff those up. I think they're going to be fine. There's no cracks in them or anything. So looks like there's a lot of wax, residual wax here. And that's where we're at. So Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to subscribe to this channel, please do so, or give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to sponsor one of these projects, by all means, contact me. And I appreciate the now 9 people that have watched my videos on a daily basis. So I appreciate it. We're really breaking records there, but I appreciate everybody that at least takes your time to look at this. If I can do it, you can do it. And take care. We'll talk to you on the next one. Bye.